Sorry.
Woo! Love you, Robyn.
I was walking up 6th Avenue and a man came right up to me. He was round and fat and spherical with the biggest grin I'd ever seen. He lumbered up toward me, but before we could be introduced, he blew up very suddenly. I guess his name was probably Bruce. So I laughed like I always do, and I cried like I cried for you. And Balloon Man blew up in my hands. He spattered me with tomatoes, hummus, chickpeas and some strips of skin. So I made a right on 44th and I washed my hands when I got in. And it rained like a slow divorce, and I wished I'd eaten your course. And Balloon Man blew up in my hand. I was walking up 6th Avenue and Balloon Man blew up in my face. There were loads of them on Bryan Park, so I didn't feel out of place. There must have been a plague of them on the TV when I came home late. They were guzzling marshmallows and then jumping off the Empire State. So I laughed like I always do, and I cried like I cried for you. And Balloon Man blew up in my hand. Yeah, Balloon Man blew up in my hand. Hiding is really what one wants to do, whether you're in the audience or whether you're a performer. The important thing is to remain as concealed and private as you possibly can be. Don't imagine that there's any kind of feeling of safety anywhere, because there isn't. the audience isn't safe from each other and the performer isn't safe from the audience. On the contrary, everyone is extremely vulnerable. So we all do our best to show what we can to each other without actually putting ourselves at risk. This is completely understood. I don't mention any of that in this next song, but it's worth bearing in mind. Tonight's show or this afternoon's show is being flown by a disturbingly visible Travis up there. I can see Travis like I can never normally see a sound person. So Travis, can you unleash that slap echo for this particular song? Here we go. This is about an individual who is totally not to be trusted and has an enormous amount of power. I sit out the window, I sit out the lawn. I wanna see what the shuffle man saw. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We're very vulnerable to echoes. And if things came back to them, a noise they'd made, they would actually start to crumble. There was often a trail of dust if one of them walked into the room and there was too much reverb. Delay killed them. I think that's probably why I've grown up with such a love of reverb and delay, because there wasn't any in the household. You know, they were generally quite tolerant people, but if an echo snuck into the house, and of course echoes would sneak into the house because they could feel they weren't wanted. So the echo would sometimes like 5 o'clock on a winter afternoon after it got dark and the street lights began to come on in the little suburban town in which I lived, it was hard to tell an echo from a shadow because there was one big difference. You could see a shadow, you couldn't see an echo, but the echoes kind of vibed like shadows. They acted like shadows, and so you'd be walking along with your shadow and you'd be whistling a happy song, and no one would care that you were afraid, and you'd be eating the 1950s version of halloumi, but it hadn't been invented yet, so we had to make do with elderly British sweetstuffs, and you'd be doing that, and then you'd realize you'd caught an echo somewhere and you had to shake it off before you got into the house. So the demo I recorded was absolutely flat, and it wasn't until I played it back years later through an expensive piece of machinery I realized it sounded good. So I'm going to play it for you now with all the reverb. She dissolved in tears. She said her name was Century. She pointed to a mosque. She said, I come from over there, but over here I'm lost. She said her name was Century. I offered her my hand. She said, I'm trying to give them up. I hope you understand. She shook her head and the sawdust fell across the bathroom floor. And in one tiny glimpse of hell, I knew what love was for. Century. Then she disappeared. I think I know which way she went. I felt so bad that I cared. She said her name was Century. One day I'll make her mine. But if you want to know the score, just read between the lines. lost me. Lost Madonna of the wasps, she's dying in the frost. I wonder what she caused me. Is this love? Is this love? Yeah, I love old stuff because you know if you live long enough you are it. And I can't, I mean I don't have my glasses on, but I assume most of you are as ancient as I am. If not more so. Or if you're lucky you will be. So you know, you get to see your life in a museum, your early life in a museum, while you're still there. So you sort of become an exhibit, which is nice. I mean, there's like, you know, Picasso or Mondrian or Kandinsky, they go on tour the same way that the Pope or the Rolling Stones do. They spend a certain amount of time in each continent, and they're promoted with a very similar budget. It's the same principle, really. Some years back, my sister got a ticket to see the Pope, but it was the Stones instead. She said, well, he didn't do Jumping Jack Flash. Otherwise, she seemed to be happy. We have similar riders, especially when it comes to fruit. Interestingly, Keith Richards and the Pontiff are like that when it comes to kiwi fruit. Fact. Here we go, here's the song I was introducing. I often dream of trains when I'm alone. I ride on them into another zone. I dream of them constantly, heading for paradise, or Basingstoke, or Reading. I often dream of trains when I'm awake. They ride along beside a frozen lake. And there in the buffet car, I wait for eternity, or Basingstoke, or Reading. I often dream of trains till it gets light. The summer turns to winter overnight. The leaves fall so suddenly. The sun sets at 4 o'clock. Exactly what I'm dreading. I often dream of trains when I'm with you. I wonder if you dream about them too. Maybe we'll meet one night out in the corridor. I'm waiting for you, baby. Baby, baby, baby. a safe distance. Can't be too careful. Okay, here we go. I wish there was a pack of the Tommy shovel. It would be lovely, lovely it would be. We'd go for a pint and a cauliflower cheese and find somebody who agrees with everything you say, every single day. I wish there was a pack of this Tommy shovel. He'd never grovel, a noble man was he. And there we would be with Sir Tommy's portrait, dimly painted on a varnished board that hangs above the door, just beside the outsized trout on the saloon bar wall. And I would drink responsibly and hold you like the angel in the dark abandoned silo of my soul. Morrissey requested that the remaining New York dolls be brought into his presence in London about 20 years ago or so and perform a couple of concerts. There are only 3 original dolls still alive. One of them had been out of the business for a long time, the bass player, a tall man named Arthur Kane. Arthur had been involved in some kind of religious practice and working in a library, so this is an appropriate place to play it. Eventually a telegram from Morrissey arrived with a couple of plane tickets to London, so Arthur found himself over there. He reunited with his old comrades. In a black and white polka dot shirt, tight red leather pants, he was back on stage under the colored lights and marveling at his hotel room. Look, he said, there's 2 telephones in here. The whole occasion was filmed, that's how I know about it. I was even invited to be one of the guitarists, but I didn't know the Dolls' repertoire, so I passed on that. Otherwise I could have met Morrissey. 2 weeks after the concert and the movie had been all but filmed, they wanted to get hold of Arthur to see how he was doing, but there was no reply. Arthur was dead. I watched the movie and I wrote this song. I never finished the book. There's always someone to be loved or to be forgotten. But if you take a long look, well, there's always someone young and fresh, or cold and rotten. 1 in a million people touch you. How do I? Dark spot in your mind. Here we go. Pulsating in windows while feathery curtains hide fountains of eyes from the lights. A different disease in another translation, though you don't understand a familiar sensation. But who needs to talk when you're caught in the flavor of nights? And you, with your ice cream hands, you are my friend. All that you want could be happening for you, just like the road that unrolls there before you tonight. Eyes you don't trust, but the fingers have beckoned. How long you got left? Well, how long do you reckon? But who goes to waste when you're tasting the flavor of night? And you, with your ice cream hands, you are my friend. They've gone, and ever after I haven't been able to find it. I just found an old master track, 2-inch, which may have some saxophones on it, so once I've got the tapes baked by a baker, probably in Silver Lake, Molus Felis, one of them. Anyway, that's what they do, sorry. I lapsed into facts for a moment. They have a terrible kind of narcotic effect. And then after 17 comes 18. Really? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, and then comes 20. Oh, you're forgetting something. Well, who wants to remember 19, man? Oh, thump. Okay, there you go. This song is also in F, which is, I think, Bob Dylan fans will remember the interview with Jan Wenner, the first one probably in 1969, when Bob, as some people rashly called him, hadn't been interviewed by anybody for a long time, and he'd become the most important person in the world, for people like me anyway. And he gave an interview, and Wenner was asking him about John Wesley Harding, and Dylan said, yeah, well, I think it's an F. A lot of them are in F. Most of them are in F, I think. Yeah. And I thought, wow, if I could write a song in F, then I would know the meaning of life too. Anyway, I then went to see, apropos of the meaning of life, I went to see Life of Bryan, and in those days, this was some years later, but obviously there was no way of having, there was no trace of it, but Eric Idle's song, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, was stuck in my head. And about a week later, I wrote this, which you can see is a kind of descendant of it. And it's in F, so it's a completely neat circle. There you are, that's facts for you. Oh, Mum, they were so kind, they applauded my facts. Well, don't you let that go to your head, son. Go and wash your mouth out with fish scales. No, wash your fish out with mouth scales. Yes, Mum. Here we go. a ball, you grin like a melon. The people that pass, they think that they know you. They're too busy thinking to see who you are. I'll reach your lawns like smoke in the orchard, scattered in bushes, the firemen laughing. I'll wrap your hands in personal signals. Don't come to me later, but come to me now. Cynthia Mars, you're wearing your Cynthia Mars. Cynthia Mars, in a Cynthia Mars. I know how she feels, but can't say a word because nothing is real in here. Not even her. Disguise yourself as you or another, a brick or a spider, in hunger and the silence, the yawning cross, the hill full of pebbles, inside you forever, inside you is all. Cynthia Mars, Cynthia Mars, Cynthia Mars. In a glass hotel, it seems like. It sounds particularly beautiful because my wife Emma is singing on it on the record, but sadly not here. Hang on. Have a tiny bit of chorus, please. Thanks. Okay. Respect the dead, you will be joining them soon. Honor your mother and father and all of the folks on the moon. In watery handwriting scattered in drops on my window pane, he wrote, I am the weather vane. I'm the man who loves the rain. Don't last too long, the world changes under your feet. Life is eternal, life is so brief, and life is so sweet. Sweeter than even a fox in a hole or a thought in a brain. I am the weather vane, swaying with every feeling that hits me again and again. I'm the man who loves the rain. I'm the man who loves the rain. volumes on both of them. I like to keep people guessing as well when I'm close to there. I have two clouds, both of them hard to contain. One of them showers the flowers, the other one bursts into flames. I'm the weather vane. Love me or leave me, you have to believe me, I'll jump your train. I'm the man who loves the rain. I'm the man who loves the rain. Don't try to leave, don't try to remain. I'm the man who loves the rain. Reflected from the waves, insurance spangles. The child of air is born upon the wind that blows across the sea. In the element of summer, suspended in the heat, the air in columns, the tiny figures of the world are walking underneath your feet and underneath your hair, where angels wander. I'll wander too, where angels wander over you. And in the element of darkness, the starlight shimmers on the spray and falls towards you. Your perfect love is never there, but if she was, she wouldn't be, and neither would you. Save your illusions for someone else. Save your illusions for yourself, for yourself. explosion and the slow return of sorrow. The tide recedes upon the loss of something beautiful and drowned in coral and in jade, where angels hover. I'll hover too, where angels hover over you. Over
Yes.
We have saved a lot of time.
We totally have. We've accelerated at
Yes.
an incredible rate, actually. We're now overtaking the speed of the universe and possibly getting younger.
We are. We are aging backwards. We are the Benjamin Button of concerts. Yes.
Apropos, I couldn't miss your remarks regarding the idea of Mr. Trump's children eating him.
Yes.
And I was obviously I totally applaud, but
Thank
it
you.
was the idea that how would he taste?
This is what I can't decide. Is the wish for him to taste bad and for them to have a bad time, or is the actual wish for him to taste delicious and for him to enjoy eating their father and to never have a food as good as their father? That would probably be the better wish. This is how wishes work, people.
I think it's more mythic like that, you know, the second one, that actually nothing ever tastes as good as eating their father.
The name of a very successful album.
Well, it would be, it wouldn't be what people were expecting really at that point, and but it might just put a new spin on the whole saga,
Yeah.
which would help, I guess. I mean, it's better than, because you know in Greek mythology, time eats his children, Kronos. In which case you would have the reverse. Mr. Trump would eat his children.
Yes, but that wouldn't help anybody. I mean, it helped a few people, but we're looking for the maximum good.
Yeah, no, I think the maximum good is probably actually a satisfying meal on their father. Would he be cooked or just eaten raw?
You know, I think this they could choose. I would allow them to choose which they found tasty. I don't know, if Trump sushi does not sound good. Tartar.
Trump tartar.
Or is he a fish?
Jeez.
Trump tartar.
It just sounds so believable, doesn't it? It sounds so like Trump Tower.
Do you think that he would sell it if he thought it was profitable?
Yeah.
I think the answer is possibly. Please enjoy a little of me.
Well, you know, take this in remembrance. It's not that far from the whole Christian thing of eating, you know, eating the blood and body of Christ. And that's another traditional mythic thing, that you actually eat your king, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It predates Christianity. Jesus was an avid student of religion, and he knew all this stuff going back years, even before the internet. And so he was designed for maximum impact, the whole, you know, body and blood stuff.
The original name of Christianity was Maximum Impact.
Maximum impact coming your way.
It worked.
Yeah, wow. The NASA Blue. I don't quite know what that means. It was a Yardbirds track. God, that's fantastic. So what's happening now?
I think you're going to play a few more songs and then eventually it will become dark one day in this town.
Oh my God.
You guys, I will send you curtains. $28,000 worth of curtains.
You will sell you curtains.
All right.
Oh, yeah, don't worry.
Robyn Hitchcock, everybody.
Okay, let's have something jolly and fairly non-cannibalistic. Bit more chorus here, please. Yet another triumphant one in E. Here we go. Blinking on and off, it's the queen of eyes with a carapace and blacklist thighs. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Monkey the pig is out on a limb. He's looking for someone to investigate him. I don't know why he never gets anywhere with you. Here I am again, it's no surprise. I'm locked in orbit round the queen of eyes. All I ever got from her was lies. In this horrible in the tower, the lover sighs. Good tonight, please take my eyes. I've used them. Doctor, doctor, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm sad to hear that, Squire. We're closing. She snubs you out like silk and pours you out like milk. But just before the dawn appears, trading all the blue in, just before all your perspectives change. Isn't it strange? On the Blackfoot leany sails, tattered rags that hang on nails reminds me. You, the mistress of your chair, I, the sergeant of your head. You blind me. You turn me on like light. A silver liquid light that emanates inside of you, decorates the room around, and just before the curtains part for dawn, and everything's gone. She had one long pair of eyes. She had one long pair of eyes between her. One long pair of eyes, so she could see you. On the lone Norwegian shore, lovers weep forevermore in evening, with the clouds above their heads. Go back to their lonesome beds and leave them. She falls on